Hungry? Have a nanner. And we're back! Okay, welcome back to 5 Minute Knives, the channel that shaved its head not unlike a monkey, just to save on haircuts. Today, we're going to talk about this little some gum that was sent in to me by CJRB, a sister company to Artisan Cutlery. Not really sure, but either way, they sent me this thing. You guys know I love unboxing, so let's go ahead and take our time unboxing this one. Okay, here we go. We're fully unboxed. For you guys that live for unboxing, you get a box, you get a cloth, you get a pouch, and you get a nanner. Okay, so we're going to talk about this guy. I actually can't remember how this one started. I think Artisan Cutlery reached out to me and said, hey, you want to do a collab? And I said, sure. I like Artisan Cutlery. They come out with a lot of great designs that are inexpensive, and that's in my wheelhouse. It's kind of the theme of the channel. Don't spend a lot for the stuff you want, right? So I'm kind of turning into a budget channel as the economy worsens and everybody has less and less shekels. But this is the Nanner, and I saw this around social medias. Various knife fluencers were showing this one, and I thought it looked kind of neat. Now it comes in a few color varieties, but why you would want it in anything else other than this yellow and green scheme, I don't know. And if you do want this knife but in a different color variation, just know that you are the problem, okay? We have a fairly deep carry clip. I was surprised at how deep carry this thing carries. So starting at the butt, we have a lanyard hole here, some milling on the spacer, green spacer, which I love. Fairly deep carry pocket clip with inset green screws. Again, love. A lot of companies are doing the inset screws now. I love that. Fairly well centered, not perfect, but not bad at this price point, and we're going to get to that in a second. I was worried about the bright yellow being really visible. It's really not. And even if it is, you wouldn't really think that this was a knife, right? If you were a non-knife person. Thumb stud deployment, which works just fine. But this also has a kind of front jimped deployment as well, which I like less, but you can do it. There's the Persian upswept blade. And if it wasn't for the funky name and design of this knife, I probably wouldn't be carrying an upswept blade. But now that I have for a little while, I can say I really like it. Extremely slicey, smartly placed jimping, and the way that that blade kind of curves downward makes it very, very comfortable. Couple of gripes, I got a couple of cons. It's not all positive about the Nanners. But let's read some reviews from some folk. Chad C says, great looking knife. It was inexpensive, and I think it's a good value. I think it would mostly be good for people with smaller hands though. Ergonomically, I worry about snapping it closed too fast on one of my fingers. It's kind of awkward to hold and close for me. But again, aesthetically, I would recommend this knife. I mean, come on, it looks like a banana. And that's actually a really good point. So I have medium-large mitts, and there's two main ways to hold this knife, like so, which is just fine. Now there's no real finger guard here, so here's the other position for your finger, and it just sketches me out a little bit. It'd be really easy to slide up here. So slicey. You're looking at a major injury if you do that. Now, in a very rare moment for this channel, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that the reverse grip position is actually possibly the best. My index finger aligns with the clip right there. My thumb wraps around the tip of the spacer, and I actually have a very, very solid grip in the reverse grip. So in a very rare moment, I would actually endorse a reverse grip for this knife. Bit of a novelty in any other grip. Would not use for tater digging. Too dangerous to the user. Too bright a color. Too delicate a tip. But for everyday tasks, food prep, this thing is a monster. Now it's kind of sharp in these areas here on the edges, but we see this with knives like the Paramilitary 2, for example, which has really sharp edges from the factory. So not a major gripe, just something to keep in mind. The crossbar lock is just fine. The action is decent, but like this guy said, it is a little awkward to open. I open it slowly because it kind of sketches me out a little bit. William says, cool concept, but the idea is very innovative, but the actual build has some issues. The action is very stiff, can confirm. An adjustable Omega spring would help, don't know. The handle geometry and the placement of the blade stud makes opening the knife feel awkward. That's true. That is true. I have to get my fingers lined up, and you can do it. And it's a little easier off camera when I get a little bit of a wrist flick in, but this guy's right. Once open, the knife itself is very useful, can confirm. Jason T says, I usually don't like Persians for EDC, but the curve and the handle gives a great access to the tip. Grippy handle, nice jimping, good for an ice pick grip, sure. Feels great in the pocket, yeah. I think that's actually pretty decent. Although, The question is, where do you put your pinky? Do you put it in the first staging point here and then have less leverage on the spacer, or do you go here where it's a little bit sketchy and now have a great purchase with your thumb? I don't know. I like the second placement, but it does make me nervous. And then finally, Nathan M says, Nana way banana. I got the knife for my son for Christmas. He is obsessed with monkeys. He likes bananas because monkeys eat them. All right, Nathan. You didn't have to get all scientific on us, but sure. Yeah, monkeys do eat nanners, and this is a nanner. So anyway, thank you to Artisan Cutlery / CJRBs. I'm not familiar with that side of the company, but I actually like this one a lot. They sent me another one as well that I'll be reviewing shortly. Now, this thing at its price point of $45.99, I think it's a total buy. You know, specs, the blade thickness is 0.11 inches. The blade length is 3.23 inches. It's a flat grind. The blade material is AR RPM9. It's a Persian blade. Ceramic ball bearing, it almost feels like washers. It has smoothed out over the week, but even right there as I opened it, I could feel my thumb kind of make contact with the blade ever so slightly. It is a little sketchy. Close length is 4.1 inches. The weight is 2.36 ounces. Let's roll in the subscribed starians that keep the channel going while we weigh this sombritch. And it's 2.4 ounces. Yeah, close to the 2.36 they said. I'm not going to gripe with them. Thank you to you guys on Subscribe Star. You keep the channel going. I don't really post on there. You do get 15% off all custom sheath orders of choice. Shout out to Sarah for sending me her Lion Steel T5 for a sheath after signing up on Subscribe Star. We do appreciate ye. What do you guys think of this nanner? I like it. I think it's alright. You know, I'm cool with it. But other than that, it is a nanner. And, you know, it's a little weird. It's a novelty knife, but at $45.99, go ahead. Total buy. Total buy. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I'm going to keep it in my collection. It is very, very unique. Definite conversation starter. You guys know that now that I work in an office, I've been rocking a lot of novelty knives, and it always sparks some conversation, which I really enjoy. Knives and watches, all things EDC. I'm a little burnt out on flashlights, but watches. The Seiko's been actually pretty awesome. I've been returning to quartz movements lately. Review on this guy coming. Been very happy with it so far. Size comparison real quick before I run out on you. Here's this knife next to my beloved Endura 4, and then next to my Schmenchmade Schmailout clone. And you can see she's in there. She's in the EDC realm. It actually wears very, very nice in the pocket, which shocked me. It kind of tucks away really nicely. The nanner shape goes back into the pocket, kind of rides on the side of the leg. It's really, really nice actually. So you kind of have to get this one in hand to know what I'm talking about. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Dying to hear from you guys on this one. And yeah, how do you feel about nanners? Anyway, that's it for me. I will see you guys next time right here on 5 Minute Knives.